shift your mind, the rest is gon' follow. When your heart is full, no need to borrow. Love yourself, that's where it starts. Gotta build it strong, protect your heart.
Hello, and welcome to the Brik Talks podcast. I'm your host, the Brik Chick. And today, I am honored to have Mr. Varick Baiyina.
Absolutely.
Did I say it right?
You said it right, Brik Chick.
Okay.
I love them Brik Chicks. You already know.
Good.
It's a beautiful thing.
Thank you. And who serves as the CEO for Xperience Live. And you probably heard of the Rochester Summer Soul Fest, among other things. I mean, his resume is like, you'll see. But that's the one thing that I know that I've experienced, and I've had a great time at those concerts. He is instrumental in all major decision-making and strategic planning for the company. He also plays the lead role on most event development, design, and tactical expansions. Varick also serves on the board of directors for Caribbean Blue Natural Spring Water, which was surprising to me. We got to talk about that.
Absolutely.
And RHN, the Real Hip Hop Network.
I've launched that 15 years ago now.
Wow. And that's the world's first 24-hour television network dedicating to exposing the positive side of hip hop, lifestyle, and culture. Mr. Baiyina is a proven management and media veteran. His unique experience and background has afforded him an incomparable outlook on strategically building niche businesses and major events. And so we're so honored to have him here today.
I'm here, baby, back home. Rock is home.
Rochester is home.
Rochester's home.
Tell us a little bit about your growing up. I know you grew up in the newspaper business, your family.
Yeah. So, I grew up right in the 19th Ward. Actually, the first house I remember was over in Fight Village.
Uh-oh.
You feel me? Right off Main Street.
Oh, Lord.
You already know. So that was the first apartment my parents had.
Wow.
But then we moved over to the Sibley District.
Ooh.
Over
to the rich side of town.
Over on Aberdeen Square. Not rich, but a great community of people.
Yeah.
And very diverse, like our city should be. And man, it was just amazing. Went to number 16 school, and then I went over to Money Row for middle school. I was bussed over there because they didn't accept me at Bougie Interim.
Oh, they didn't?
No, they didn't accept me at Interim.
Well, what did you do?
I didn't do nothing. I was an excellent student.
You were? Okay.
Excellent student. But anyway, Monroe, I'm so happy I went there instead.
Okay.
It was a great environment.
And that's where you met Dana, DJ Dana?
That's where I met Dana.
Yes.
No, Dana's a whole nother story.
He is a whole nother
story.
A whole nother story. We might have to do a whole nother show on that.
That's a whole show. That's a whole show. That's my guy. And then from there, I went to Wilson Magnet High School, back in the neighborhood, off the Hooch in Genesee Street.
Okay. No doubt. So tell us a little bit about the newspaper. I'm interested in that.
So my dad we had 3 family newspapers.
Yes.
And the first one started off, he called it The Message.
Okay.
No, actually it was the Smart Shopper's Guide. So it was, if you guys have ever heard of the Penny Saver.
Yes.
The Penny Saver bought my dad's newspaper, Smart Shopper's Guide.
Wow.
And, he was the first newspaper and money clipper in the city where, he had such clients as Danny Wegman.
Okay.
Also, I don't know if people remember Scuddy Pontiac from back in the day. Mm-hmm. And so a very, very diverse advertising. And, I used to go on appointments with them. So it's not surprising that sales is in my blood because I saw it from a very young age.
Right.
And, that was amazing. And then from that newspaper, he went to The Message, was a very in tune community newspaper, and they all had distributions of around 40,000 people.
Wow!
So even though they were, community newspapers, small newspapers, they had a nice distribution. And what he did was have the kids in the neighborhood deliver them, and that parlays into the next newspaper, which was called the Rise Journal. And the Rise Journal, everybody says Rise now, but my dad was first.
He was the first,
It was an acronym that meant Resources, Initiative for Strategic Empowerment. Mm-hmm. That's what it stood for. And that was a community newspaper, so he merged the advertisers that he had along with the community newspaper, and Rise was born. Matter of fact, We have a nonprofit now as an homage to that called the Rise and Shine Center for Media Arts and Technology, where we train high school kids and younger in middle school to learn about technology.
Wow.
And to learn about solar energies. And also, if they want to be in front of the camera or behind the camera, we teach them that as well, or on the radio or behind the scenes in the radio where the real money is made.
Right.
I teach them that as well, so, and then, of course on the, media and technology is huge to our nation and our world. So we thought it was important to start that nonprofit.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think I really realized how important media was. And I think I just always thought that media was beyond my reach. You know what I mean? Like nobody. And then with the advent of social media, and
everybody can do. You can
you
do whatever you want, and it's endless.
Yes.
And social media has changed the music game. It has changed television. It has changed film. It has changed the way we interact with each other. Some good, some bad.
Yeah.
But it's social media in this new age is an amazing thing. Streaming apps have taken over.
Yeah.
Netflix, Hulu, Disney.
Yes.
Everybody's going in that direction because it's on demand.
Yeah.
You can watch it whenever you want
to. Remember the TV
anytime.
used to go off?
Absolutely.
You'd be so bad. Like, do I gotta go to bed?
I was up till TV went off.
Right.
But now you up all 24 hours.
Right.
You can't go to bed.
Exactly. And what about when the cable TV? Remember the cable box?
No doubt. Back and forth. Back and forth. And when your parents come in the room, you slide all the way back, get off of Cinemax, get off of, Clockwork Orange and all that good stuff. Black Emmanuel.
Right.
No. Dad, what you watching down there? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Cosby Show is what I'm watching.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's totally changed. But those bring back great memories, and the interaction is what I think we need to, bring back for these kids, though.
True.
They need to interact and not be so impersonal.
Yeah, they don't have a lot of social skills.
No doubt.
And I think it comes back to the family, too, because, if we think about our parents, like, for instance, our parents sat in front of the radio together, and they sang songs, or somebody played an instrument, and that's how they spent their family time. And we kind of, would be in front of the TV watching a show or doing something to that extent. And now, or having dinner together, or what have you. But now it's not. Everybody's on their devices, and they're watching whatever they want to watch and doing whatever they want to do.
And you can do it, like you said, on your phone, on your computer. I mean, it's so impersonal. I understand everybody needs alone time, but sometimes it's too much alone time. I mean, listen, it's like I said, for the good and for the bad. We just got to learn how to balance.
Yeah, that's true. That's
true.
No
doubt.
So every journey has challenges, and were there any family struggles or any personal obstacles growing up that pushed you to work harder, or, that you can say built the resilience you needed to thrive?
It was easy for me. Everything was easy. No.
Oh, for real?
No.
Oh, because you're in such a competitive industry right now.
I'm definitely competitive, always been competitive. I had a great family structure, which made things easier.
Right.
But, from a young guy, I went over my grandmother's house, which was over at Lee Place and Day Place over off of Plymouth.
Okay.
I was exposed to everything.
Yes, you were.
Drugs.
Yes, absolutely.
Crack. Not more than regular crack, ass crack. As well, because we got people, that was straight hoes. They were hoes, pimps, everything. I mean, and it was a good balance for me, though. We talk about balance.
Yes.
But, home, Aberdeen was my safe space.
Okay.
But, and all of my aunts and uncles lived in, Henrietta, Pittsford, Pennsfield, Gates. Those were my safe spaces.
That's right.
But grandmas... Not so safe.
Okay, well,
yeah, it was some situations.
Yeah, some situations.
And it's funny because, a lot of my family and a lot of my cousins I call my brothers because my dad took them out of those situations and put his arms around them and said, listen, yeah, we need to gain a little bit more control, a little bit more adult supervision. Because a grandmother, she can only do so much.
Yes.
A single mother household can only do so much because she has to work. So you have all of these unsupervised kids, and you know what happens when you're unsupervised. Like any kid, any neighborhood, you're getting in trouble.
That's right.
If you don't have structure.
That's right.
So, structure is important, and supervision is important. Not too much, not too little. You got to be in there in the middle just right.
Yeah.
But, from that, I was on Aberdeen, but, I ended up with a baby before I left high school.
Oh, okay. Okay. That wasn't one of them hoes over there.
No, it wasn't them hoes over there. I was messing with older women.
Okay. All right.
And, matter of fact, I was working for Montgomery Center. And you know what I'm saying? I was a camp counselor.
Okay.
And, I was, attracted to this art director and turned out to be my first baby mama when I was 17.
Okay.
Before I was going to Syracuse. That happened in the 11th grade.
They ain't try to lock her up, did they?
No, they could have, though.
Yeah.
Because that was statutory rape.
Absolutely.
It's funny. That's a funny story going to court. She figures, he going to Syracuse, I'm set. But the judge was like, Mr. Baiyina, would you like to have place charges on her?
Really?
And I said, no, why? She said, because it was illegal what she did to you.
What she did to you. And I know you said that's
said,
my baby.
Wow, we did it together.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. We did it together, and I was responsible for that.
Right.
And one of the biggest blessings in my life. But in the 11th grade, going into the 12th, I'm like, my life is over.
Yeah.
But my dad said, no, it ain't over. We're gonna keep you on track to do what you do.
Yeah.
But when you come back in the summers, yeah.
You're going to take
90% of that check, that you're working at Kodak, that's going to her.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's supervised by me.
Right.
But it's going to that baby.
Okay.
Diapers, milk, everything. We're going to stock her up for the whole year.
Yeah, so your responsibility.
No doubt.
Yeah, that's
no
your,
doubt.
that's
and that
your
same
seed.
daughter ended up living with me, in D.C. because I, went to Howard and moved to D.C. And
because you was bougie then.
I was bougie then.
Yeah, that's right.
But she ended up moving with me.
Okay.
And at the 6th grade, so I had her for the rest of her life, and she ended up going to another HBCU, which was Bennett College.
Okay.
Right across from A&T in North Carolina in Greensboro.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I came out of it. So can you.
Yeah, that's
Everybody can come out of it.
And it's more than just the money. It's just it's a good thing. I like to hear that you had her to come and live with the family and do.
No doubt.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing.
In summers, she came to stay with me.
Yeah.
No, you can't be free the whole summer.
No. You got to come and hang with the old pops.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. So.
And that's important.
And that's real life.
Yeah.
So everybody has challenges. Everybody has hurdles that they have to get over. However, it can be done. You may feel like, damn, I can't get over this. I can't get around this. But you can.
Yeah.
And you will, because there's always tomorrow.
Yeah, that's right.
But, faith, too, is a big thing. So whatever God you serve, whatever universe, however you do your religious thing. I'm Muslim.
Okay.
Everybody doesn't have to be Muslim. You don't have to be Christian. You don't have to be Jewish.
Yeah.
You just have to be a good person. But what I will tell you is Islam put me on the track. My dad hung out with Muhammad Ali and Malcolm X and all these guys.
So you grew up Muslim?
Yeah. I grew up since I was like 10.
Okay.
And I had great people around me that kept me straight. But these were men, aside from my dad, that showed me how to be a man. I learned to be a man not just from my dad. I took a little bit from everybody. Aunts, uncles, whatever. I took a little bit from everybody to make who I am today. Because you don't have to be like one person, nor do you want to be.
Right.
I didn't want to be just like my dad.
And you wasn't going to be anyway.
Good stuff with him and bad stuff with him.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't want to be him all the way. Yeah, he was my role model. He was the first, African American fire lieutenant in this city.
Oh, wow.
And he put a bunch of other firefighters onto that living. And my uncle as well, my uncle Milton Walker, served 49 years for the fire department.
Okay.
I've had 7 uncles, my Uncle Joe, my Uncle Bernard. Everybody was firefighters because that was the hustle. That was the family hustle, because you could work 3 days, get 2 days off, work 3 nights, and then get 4 days off.
Okay.
So most firefighters have a secondary hustle, and my dad's was the newspaper.
Okay.
He went out, he got tired of going to these companies saying, I need you to set my newspaper up and print it. So you know what he did? He bought his own typesetter. We didn't have computers back then.
I was just going to say, you might have to explain that.
Yeah, a typesetter is the machine that sets up the newspaper. At that time, I remember him and my mom having the conversation. It cost what? $16,000? That was 5 cars back then. And it was damn near worth more than our house.
Yeah.
But he put that investment in, and that's where he started doing his own newspapers. Kind of like Frederick Douglass. You feel me? Maybe he got it from Frederick Douglass.
He could have.
With the North Star being here in Rochester.
Yeah.
But that was his drive. That was his dream.
Because I used to see the machines down at is it Democrat and Chronicle that was on State, and you could see in the window and you would see the papers.
Those are the presses. Yeah, those are the presses. But the typesetter sets it up in the correct format, and then he would have to take it to the printer to get them printed, though. But that was the easy part.
So what did they take the pictures and like put it on some? How did they do that? To put it on the ink or?
Yeah, they put it on the presses. They put the actual photos on the presses.
Okay.
And press it that way.
Oh, okay.
But he was able, with this typesetter, he was able to set up his margins and everything else and the photos by himself.
Okay.
And then send it to the printer, and it was ready to be printed. He didn't have to pay them for that portion.
Okay.
So that's where, you kind of find out, just like social media now, just like, you can do things yourself now, without all of these professional cameras.
Right.
These phones are HD cameras themselves.
Yeah, they do.
So it's, like I said, the whole thing is, it's a lot easier to do the things you want to do now, especially in media. I mean, look at us right here.
Okay. So right out of Syracuse and Howard, you worked as a media buyer for the 92 Clinton Gore campaign.
That was crazy.
How did that high pressure experience shape your outlook on advertising and the power of media?
Listen, that opportunity, first of all, when I went for the interview, I had an opportunity I was invited to the NFL combines. I could have played in the NFL.
Oh, really?
And,
Waterboy was a position back then?
Yeah, that was a position. You already know. And, I got invited, to the Bills camp. I got invited to the Browns camp. I got invited to 6 different camps.
Okay.
And, but an opportunity came up for an interview. And I went to the interview, then it turned into a second interview. Then it turned into a third interview. Then it turned into a 4th and 5th interview. And on my 6th interview, Hillary Clinton was in the room. And I was like, wait, what is this? And then Bill Clinton walked in the room.
What?
And then I'm like, wait a minute. And they were running at this time. So I was like, they were getting ready to run. Okay. I was like, well, what is this? Am I being punked? Where the cameras at? And they were saying, listen, we're going to be running for president with Gore, and he's going to be my vice president. And we want you to be on the staff.
Wow, what an honor.
Yeah, I was a media buyer. So what I did, all those annoying commercials that you see on TV and hear on the radio, I was responsible for Bangor, Maine, in Rhode Island, all the way down to Miami, Florida.
Wow.
So it was 13 states.
How old were you?
And the only state, I was 23.
Wow.
The only state we lost by a small margin was in Florida. And that's not surprising. But, we lost Florida. But every other state we won. And then we had other media buyers for other regions. But that's where I started my career, at the top. So everything else after that, was kind of not small time, but once you are a media buyer, and they offered me a job at the White House press staff, but I went for a couple of weeks. I said, let me shadow for a couple of weeks. And I shadowed, and, I liked the vibe, but I saw things that, I have a conscience that didn't really set with me.
Okay.
And then, other opportunities came up, and I said, I think I'm going to go after this money because, I had that political experience. It was great. But then I went to work for Dunn and Bradstreet.
Wow.
For their Yellow Pages division. Yellow Pages back in the day.
Now, that's right. That's a big thing, too.
That's a big thing.
Could you describe what a media buyer does?
Yeah, a media buyer is a person that is responsible for buying commercials.
Okay.
So when you see a McDonald's commercial, Subway, the New York Lottery, whatever, somebody has to buy those commercials from the TV stations.
Okay.
So we would organize those media buys based on demographic profiles, whatever profile or demographic they want to reach. We would buy the shows that fit that demographic.
Okay.
Like if we wanted women, I would buy Oprah.
Okay.
Because that was highly rated. It would cost a little bit more per commercial, but we would buy that because it fits certain demographics.
Okay.
If we wanted men, we would buy ESPN or sports or news, or, different things that men like to watch, Magnum PI, stuff like that.
Okay.
So it's all based on media profiles so that you get your bang for your buck. If I want that, female or that woman 35 to 44, 35 to 54, 35 plus, this is what they want, but, the thing, it's a science.
Yeah.
It was a science. And that's where I really learned media. And I learned not only television, but radio, newspapers, and everything else, and how to be strategic about whatever I did. I met the Obamas. I did strategy for the Obamas as well.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I put my toe back in the water and still did strategic stuff based on that experience. It allowed me to do so much more because I could throw that on the table and be like, yeah, I did all
Look
this.
at me. Yeah. I'm the man.
Yeah,
I mean, 23 working on the Clinton
and that was
Gore
early.
campaign. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That had to be fresh out of school.
Yeah, and at that time, there were, not many not much minority representation on the agency side.
Yeah.
Because it was a company called Greer Margolis Mitchell Grunwald, and one woman owner and the rest men, and but they knew it was important that they have diversity on their staff.
Okay.
So when we talk about diversity these days, come on, man. Quit playing.
DEI?
Quit playing. DEI is the best thing that happened to this world.
Yeah.
You have to have diversity. If you do not have that representation, you're shooting in the dark. You're blind. Every culture and every, color of skin has...
And every level.
No, at every level has demonstrated their worth.
Yeah, that's true.
So quit playing with all the bull.
Yeah, and just let everybody
do
their thing.
Everybody do their thing. If you earn it, you earn it. Yeah. Nobody's asking for a handout.
That's right.
But what we are asking for is a level playing field.
Yeah. Right.
And there's a difference.
Yes.
I don't want a job because I'm black. Come on now.
Yeah,
I want the job because I'm the best.
Yeah, because I'm good at it, and we're gonna.
But I want you to see me. See, the problem is this.
See your value, right?
The problem is this. People are programmed to hire people in their own image. And it's natural to want to do that.
Yeah.
However, you have to look past that mirror to people who actually can do the job.
That's right.
The best way.
That's true. So, I want to go back to you being invited to these camps. I mean, it seems like at that age you would have been like, yo, I'm going to go play football.
My dad was pissed. It's every dad's dream for your son to play professional football.
Yeah.
I wish I would have done it for him.
You do?
But I would have been doing it for him.
Yeah, not for you.
And not just for me, because luckily when I was early, early in age, I saw the big picture of, man, imagine if I walked away from the Clinton Gore opportunity.
Yeah.
I would have played football, but my knees were already getting bust up. Look at my hands. My hands are still scarred up and ugly. I got scarring all here. It's a rough sport.
Yeah. Absolutely. It was really rough back then. They didn't have the protective gear like they have now. Yeah.
No, it's, so like I said, my dad's watching over me now. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You make
your own choices.
You make your own choices and you live with them. And yeah, I would have made big money at that time, but where would I be now?
Yeah.
Am I, a retired athlete with no money now?
Yeah, and probably with no brain and
no doubt. But my money went like this. And it's still going this way.
Right.
It's stair-stepping. And it didn't go here, and then boom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So.
And,
you had developed some wisdom.
No doubt.
Yeah. So other than that, you've also had worked with some powerhouse companies like NBC Sports, Clear Channel.
Yeah, Clear Channel.
CBS Radio.
Now iHeartMedia.
Okay. CBS Radio.
Yeah, CBS Radio is huge.
Okay.
I got to work with some, oh my God, some juggernauts. Donnie Simpson, the Green Eye Bandit, who was on BET, who started Video Soul,
right?
Who really discovered the people like Whitney Houston, and he put them on the map.
Yeah.
With Video Soul.
Right.
It has impacted so many.
I remember him.
Yeah, he gave us a voice on BET, and that's what BET did with Bob Johnson.
Yeah.
Gave us a voice, and that's always that we've ever asked for. So Donnie Simpson's show, was just a juggernaut of just greatness, and he's such a great guy to this day.
I believe that.
So I worked with Donnie. I worked with Tom Joyner for years. My uncle will actually program with him. My dad was actually the very first salesperson for WDKX right here in this great city.
Okay.
Working with Mr. Langston. The first person he started his newspapers after being a salesperson at WDKX.
Wow.
And that's funny because my mom's sister married one of the DJs, Vernon Catron, that was on DKX.
Okay.
And he became a programmer for Tom Joyner later on in life.
Connections.
For 20 years.
Yeah. Wow.
So, Tom Joyner, Ricky Smiley, Steve Harvey, D.L. Hughley. I mean, these were all of my people that I was responsible for selling over the years.
Okay.
Their shows to advertisers.
Yeah.
So now I was on the sales side.
Right.
And I learned the power of money and the power of self, because I was the one responsible for bringing all the money to the station.
Yeah.
Without a sales department, a radio station can't run.
Yeah, you got to have...
A TV station can't run.
Nothing.
A newspaper can't run. Once you have the reach and the viewers and the eyeballs, it will give, your advertisers a space where they can reach their client and their customer and their customer base.
Yes. So, which role do you think was your biggest turning point in your career, and why?
Man, I would definitely have to say him during my radio days, because, working with all of these great people. And this is my saying. I was sitting at my desk one day before a sales meeting and just thinking about all the great people I was around and how great I was. Because you got to believe in yourself first.
Absolutely.
Not to be conceited, because I'm not conceited.
Yeah.
I just love myself.
I get that.
And I'm like, man, I look in the mirror, I'm like, you are great.
Yeah.
So I came up with greatness is contagious.
Yeah.
So you get around great people.
Right.
You want to do great things.
True.
And the sales staff I was with, it was when I was working with Radio 1 and Miss Hughes. She's iconic. She now owns Urban One, which owns TV One, Radio One, over 100 radio stations across the country. Okay. And over 100 interactive websites across the country as well.
Okay.
And now her son owns it. Alfred Liggins is the CEO, but she's the founder.
Okay.
And just being around that greatness and great people and the Donnie Simpsons and the Tom Joyners, it just puts your mindset is different.
It changes your mindset.
It changes your mindset when you say, damn, these people are doing, cruises and everything else.
Yeah.
You can do anything you want when you want.
That's true.
Even Bob Johnson, when he sold BET, he sold it to Viacom, which is not a black company, but it's a juggernaut. But he wanted to go do other things. He wanted to start an airline. He wanted to open up hotels. He was not tired of BT but he had been there, done that. So he wanted to do something else.
Yeah, and you have to have a diversified portfolio too.
After breaking through that ceiling in television, it was the same thing in airlines that they sabotaged what he was trying to do with the airlines.
But they do that. They do that with us all the time.
No doubt. No doubt. But this is what people don't realize. This sabotage and stuff, it just makes us stronger.
Yeah. It just makes us find more ways.
Invincible.
Right.
Slavery made us invincible.
Right.
It broke us in a lot of ways and ruined our communities and family units in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
They know how important it is to reach our community.
Oh, yeah.
In Black Panther, that movie and every star in that movie, from the smallest actor to the highest actor, showed Hollywood what we can do as a people. It broke box office records across the world, not across the United States, across the world. And that really relaunched what we can do, with people like Ava DuVernay, Tyler Perry. I was there when Tyler Perry got his first film deal from Lionsgate. But that's another thing with Tyler. I worked with him when he was just doing plays.
Yeah.
I was doing the media buying across the country with my partner, who's now passed away, bless his soul.
God bless.
He had a company called It's All Good Promotions. And he was the first person, one of the first people that saw the potential of Tyler Perry and toured him across the nation.
Wow.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So I've seen the Tyler Perrys inch up, get bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
And now, you got to come see him.
Yeah.
It's Hollywood in Atlanta. I live in Atlanta now. There's Hollywood in Atlanta right now because of him.
Right. So my good friend Jerry Capers, I'm seeing him on that same trajectory.
No doubt. No doubt. And Capers is amazing as well.
Yes. We and him went to school from we were in little second grade together. So yeah.
No, we'll be doing some stuff with him.
Good.
We sat down and we just got to work out the particulars on things that we need to do.
That's great.
To get him to the next level.
Yes, that's great. That's great. This is so exciting. It's so good for us Black people to come together and do some great things. Yeah, and nothing against white people because I love white people too.
No doubt.
But we have to really take care of our own. You got the charity starts at home. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt. And you bring good people along no matter what the color they are.
That's it.
The best for your team is who's the best for your team.
That's it. So launching radio stations and building integrated media strategies takes both vision and grit. What's the key to successfully bringing a new platform or brand to life in today's market? And that's really personal to my heart.
Yeah, it's exposure, and it's the grind like you're doing right now. It's getting your name out there. It's doing what you have to do to make sure that you get the opportunities. It's partnerships. My big thing is partnership.
Okay.
Getting with other great people to make you look good, make them look good. Finding your niches, but finding other people who are doing things what you want to do, and then just getting with them and partnering and doing it together. Partnerships are really, really key.
Yeah.
Media Movement does amazing things. They've done stuff for us at Rock Summer Soul Fest.
Okay.
So having key partnerships to do key things That's what they do. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we have to get together on a different level to make sure that we get on the same page so that they're the people that we can use.
Right.
You know, when we're here in town and when we're doing something in Martha's Vineyard and when we're doing something in D.C. and when we're doing something in Atlanta.
Right.
You know, I came back home because I wanted to.
Yeah.
Not because I had to.
Right.
I'm here. I live, like I said, I live in Atlanta now. I lived in D.C. for 30 years.
Yeah.
I don't have to be here.
Right.
But I'm here to give back to my community because this is where I came from.
Yeah.
And I'm passionate about that.
Yeah. And one thing I can say, and I've traveled, I've been in the military, I've lived in other places, in other countries, and there's nothing like Rochester. Rochester just has its own flavor. It's just different, you know?
No doubt.
So I feel that.
No doubt.
As CEO of Xperience Live, you've led major events like the Rochester Summer Music Fest, Celebre's and Rose.
Yeah, Celebrating Rose.
Celebrating Rose. Okay.
French,
Okay. Yes. Okay. I'm not French.
All I
know is Patty. Vous c'est avec moi.
All that.
Yes.
C'est soir. All of that.
What makes an event not just successful but unforgettable in your eyes?
It's people interaction, and it's vibes. You got to find the right vibes. People, music, food always work good together. People, music, food. People, music, food, fun. People, music, mood, fun. It's setting a vibe.
Yeah.
It's doing the all whites, you know, celebrations. They have them here as well. Putting people together. With, like I said, the formula is people, good music, good vibes. That's why, like, people like DJ Dana are so important to so many events because they set the vibe.
Yeah. He's quite a following, too.
No doubt. No doubt. So, you know, they are, you know, the DJ has always been the party starter, has always been, even before the MCs, you know what I'm saying? They kicked off everything.
They did.
And they still do. You know, they're producers now behind the scenes.
Yeah.
At those switchboards, making stuff happen. In the studios, making stuff happen, creating the sounds. You know, those, you know, Timberland, who came, who did time in here in Rochester. You know, he was a DJ. You know, he was a producer. He, you know, he's the person behind the scenes, but also sometimes you get in front of the mic and do some things too. You know, but yeah, it's setting the right vibe and finding a niche. You know, like right now with, you know, us going into a resurfaced cowboy vibe with Beyonce and everybody else. The original cowboys were African Americans.
Yeah.
You know, so let's find out who your history is.
Yeah, that's right.
And, you know, others were handlers and other things, but we were the cowboys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Let's not get that twisted.
They herd cattle and everything.
No doubt.
They were doing that in Africa.
That's why Jimmy wears a hat. Jimmy Highsmith Jr., you see him walk around
I see him with his hat.
with his cowboy hat.
Yeah.
That's why he wears it.
Okay.
Because of that history.
Yeah.
You know, so don't get it twisted. We're just...
It's not just a fashion trend for him.
We created every music.
Yeah.
You know, from classical music. And I worked. My first radio job was at WGMS, Washington's classical station. Okay? That's why I started my radio career. At a classical station. Not hip-hop. Not R&B. Not slow jams.
No. It all comes from that, though. Yeah.
It was a classical station. And it was the #1 classical station in the world. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but then I went into, you know, country and other formats. And I love all types of music.
Yeah, me too.
Because at the end of the day, it comes from us. Come on.
Yeah.
You know, jazz, 100% from us. Gospel, 100% from us. Everything else kind of branched off and people took over, you know, through. But where do you think bluegrass came from?
Right.
You guys saw Sinners.
Yeah.
You know, that's where country music came from.
Yeah.
You know, why do you think Aaron Neville and all of those guys are still masters in the game? Because it's in them. It's in them. And you're seeing a resurgence, and we're taking country music back too.
Yeah.
But that's okay because everybody can enjoy everything. My family is from Duck Hill, Mississippi.
Yeah.
Before they moved here. Mm-hmm. You think that's not country?
Yeah, it's definitely country. It's definitely country. I think they try to group us into like a culture, and every culture just because we're black, our culture is just this or that. But our culture is everything.
No, we have farms.
Yeah.
We still have farms.
Yeah, we still do.
Day.
My mother grew up on a farm. My grandfather had a farm. He had a juke joint. He had a cab. He had a limousine company.
No doubt about
everything. And that was back in the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s.
So listen, we're just recreating ourselves and revisiting some things that we're passionate about.
Yeah.
And the fact that the Country Music Awards didn't want to give Beyonce awards here and there, whatever.
Yeah.
She gonna take it just like she been doing.
Why not?
And her tour.
And she's humble.
Come on, her tour was one of the toppest grossest tours.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Doing cowboy country music.
Yeah.
Our music.
Yeah.
So quit playing.
She can do any music.
No doubt.
She's very talented.
She's talented.
And she's humble, and she doesn't have to argue with nobody. She know what I mean. I just respect the way that they move in their industry.
And we infuse the bands too, like those marching bands we're gonna have here this weekend.
Yeah, what's the history with that? Because you guys are doing the HBCU
class.
Yes.
So it's called the Baldwin Richardson Foods.
Yes.
Frederick Douglass HBCU Football Classic.
Okay.
And we got to thank our sponsors because they're the ones who fit the bills. Mm-hmm. RG&E, ESL. These are all community. Everybody doesn't always like RG&E.
Yeah.
But they do some good things.
They do.
But when they send that bill, nobody likes sending that bill.
Especially that disconnect note.
Hey, Chick-fil-A.
Yes.
Garber actually came in this year, and they'll be coming in bigger.
Good.
Rochester Area Community Foundation.
Okay.
Give. Who's with the Rochester Police Department doing things.
Okay.
Everybody's doing their part to make this happen.
Yes.
And without our sponsors, this event wouldn't happen.
And this is fairly new to the area, right?
Yeah, it just came in last year.
Okay.
However, that being said, it was started by, Stith, Deputy Chief Stith, who was here, but he left and went back to Jersey for family reasons. And Kelly Briggs, they started it together, along with the city. Yeah. And, however, they're teachers and police officers. Mm-hmm. They're not events people.
Right.
So we do these across the country. I've done 12 HBCU classics across the country in D.C. and in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. So, they brought in us. We are an events company.
Yeah.
Well, we are an advertising agency that specializes in events because we do media buying and still all, websites and all of that stuff too. But, events is what we enjoy doing as well. And Rochester and Mayor Evans, first it started with Lovely. First it started with Mayor Johnson.
Yeah.
But under Lovely, we came in, got the contract.
Yeah.
We bid on the RFP and we got the contract. And it's history ever since.
Yeah, Lovely did a lot of great things for this city.
Oh, she did. And she's still doing great things.
Yeah. I respect her tremendously.
She was the people's mayor.
Yeah.
Mayor Evans is becoming the people's mayor, but he comes from a corporate background. He was huge at ESL doing stuff, on the corporate side, but he loves the people. Mm-hmm. He lives here in this city. He genuinely loves them.
Yeah.
And he is passionate about music. I've never seen a mayor so passionate about music. He knows more about music than I do. Okay. In a lot of cases.
Okay.
Not every case.
Not everything. Okay,
but a lot of
twisted.
cases.
Okay.
No doubt. And he's passionate, and what city council has always been behind us as well.
Okay.
And I ask everybody to get behind this HBCU Classic because it's not about us, it's about the kids. Mm-hmm. And I just want to tell you a quick story.
Yes,
I started, I told you before, I started at Syracuse and moved to Howard. And Howard changed my life. So we're doing this, and, Deputy Chief Stith wanted to do this for the exposure. Mm-hmm. Because when I came out of Wilson, I didn't know what a HBCU was. Mm-hmm. I wanted to be an Orangeman. Mm-hmm. I wanted to go to Penn State.
Yeah.
I wanted to go to UCLA. Mm-hmm. I wanted to go to Cornell.
Yeah.
HBCUs weren't even on my radar because they're not around here.
Right.
And it's all about exposure. We want to expose these kids. A lot of the great people in this city who are part of the Divine Nine went to HBCUs, went to Spelman. You know, the CEO from Baldwin Richardson Foods, which is a multi-billion-dollar company who makes, you know, the ketchup packets that you see in McDonald's and in Burger King. Yeah, that's what they do. So they tapped in.
Yeah.
And, you know, but, you know, her dad's company started in Chicago, you know, but it's here now. It has extended here. But she went to Spelman. Her husband, you know, was in finance. He went to Morehouse. You know, so this is HBCU greatness right in this city.
Yeah.
And people doing big things.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
So
I mean,
listen,
MCC is our HBCU.
Absolutely.
You know, I'm just saying.
But listen, MCC is a great school as well.
It is.
You know, and at the end of the day. I started there. And I took classes when I was in high school at MCC, some advanced classes.
So did my children, yeah.
And you know what? I took some at the U of R as well.
Okay.
Nothing against, listen, U of R, RIT, St. John Fisher. Nazareth. All of them are great schools. Rockport State, where my boy Burness went, my partner.
Okay.
He's one of 2 Hall of Famers there.
Okay.
Playing basketball.
Yeah.
So, you know, these are great institutions here in Rochester. However, there are other places where you can go.
That's true.
And get another great education. And hey, it's okay to leave your home.
That's right.
And come on back. It's important to see the world.
Yes, absolutely.
And if I had not left here to go to D.C. and get exposed to the nation's capital, I mean, when you wake up, my office was in Georgetown.
Okay.
You know, right there on the Potomac. I've lived on the Potomac.
Okay.
You know, if I had not had that exposure, I wouldn't be the same person.
Right.
I wouldn't be.
Right.
And it's all about exposure.
Right.
And just so you know, it's out there.
Yeah.
Even people going to Atlanta, it's about being out there and seeing what Atlanta has to offer, and seeing what Florida, Miami has to offer, wherever you go.
Right.
Just get away sometimes and see what the world has to offer.
Yeah, I lived in Atlanta for several years too.
No doubt.
I left here after when I came back from Germany.
That's awesome. And you know, my Uncle Maurice, who everybody knows, Uncle Mo, you know, he was he's my dad's baby brother.
Okay.
He was a huge influence on me because he went straight into the military too, from Madison High School.
Yeah.
And he did his 20 years in the military. He was a tank commander in Frankfurt.
Yeah.
And, you know, so he was transportation specialist, drove everybody from Colin Powell to, you know, this United States, to presidents, to everybody else.
Right.
So, you know, his exposure to the world, he came back, had his BMW shipped here.
Yeah.
Had one of the first BMWs in this area.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that. I said, I want to get one of those, Uncle Mo.
Right.
And now I got one.
Right.
I got a 7 Series.
Oh.
Because I'm Uncle Mo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But you had to be introduced to it.
But I had to have exposure to even know it existed. And cars and houses ain't nothing.
They come and go.
They come and go. But it's really the exposure and seeing the world that's going to live inside you.
That's it, in your heart.
No doubt.
That's true. I agree with that. So you're known as an innovator in strategic partnerships and niche marketing.
No doubt.
Okay. So for someone listening who wants to build a career in media or events, what's the number one mindset or skill they need to master to stand out?
Being yourself. You don't have to copy what everybody else does. You can take a little bit from everybody and just find your niche. What are you really good at? Is it cooking? Is it DJing? Like, what is your niche? Your niche? You know,
because you got to go back to the French.
Niche, whatever. What are you? What makes you special?
Right.
Find that, and then you spread it out. Like the Ava DuVernays of the world. She's amazing at writing and creating, and just creating concepts. You know, at these general market shows, ER, and everything else she's been involved with. You know, so find what's good in you, and people will start following you and buying you. Because I've been in sales my whole life. People buy Varick They could buy radio anywhere, but they buy me because why? I'm going to make sure they're taken care of. You know, all of my clients have been the biggest promoters in D.C., concert and club promoters, some of the biggest in the world.
Yeah.
Everybody from Live Nation to AEG Live. They want me because they know that their ticket giveaways are going to run on there. They know that their commercials are going to run in good positions and at good times. They know that they don't have to check up on me.
Yeah.
They know they feed me. They feed my family.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I might get in trouble here and there, you know, at the station or with my general manager or whatever. But I do those things because I want to take care of my client. Because the client, like I said, just like this classic, they make the ball roll.
Yeah.
They make things go. If they do not believe in the vision or you to make it happen, you know, then you're nowhere.
Yeah.
So just find your niche. And, you know, I know people say it all the time, just be you. Because, you know, we're all one of one.
Yeah.
No matter if you're a twin or a triplet or whatever, you're still one of one. You got to make yourself special.
Yeah.
And stand out of the crowd.
I think people have a hard time with that, though.
Yeah, they do. Well, they don't believe it.
Yeah, they're worried about being judged or what somebody's going to think or if they're going to be successful, if they're going to fail.
Social media makes that worse.
Yeah, it does. It does.
It does. It does. But, you know, in social media, you just got to remember who you are. And just don't put stuff out there that you think is going to be not make you look good in the future. You know, just always think about what would mama say? What would big mama say? What would dad say? You know, and just stop putting out all the foolishness.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And what
for a like.
Right. And imagine what your children might say, or your future children might say, you know.
Or a potential, you know, job you might get. It might come back to haunt you.
True.
Or even starting your company. You may not get business from a company, even if you own your company. If they say, oh, but I saw this on social media 10 years ago. Are you still that person?
Right.
You know, that was nasty what you did.
Yeah. Or what you say or the way you handle people.
Or the way you handle people.
Yeah,
that true. Wasn't nice.
Yeah.
We'll pass.
Yeah, thanks anyway.
Yeah, thanks anyway.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah. So what would you, I always try to end with asking what you would recommend or what you would tell somebody that they should probably try before they leave this realm of existence. Is there something that you've ever done that you think you couldn't have lived without doing?
You got to travel. You have to. And the last few years, I've been going over to South Africa and different parts of Africa, you know, to, Zanzibar, to, all of South Africa, and seeing what an impact Mandela had on his people to this day. They love that man because he made a difference. Why? Like any politician, you should love your people.
Yeah. He
loved his people like nobody else.
Yeah.
And got put in jail behind it for damn near half his life.
What was it, 30 years?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he stood 10 toes down.
No doubt, stood 10 toes down. And the prejudice, and we think civil rights was bad.
Yeah.
Apartheid was probably 2 times worse. Yeah. You know, and you wonder why some of those leaders are taking some of that land back and giving it back to the people. It's because this was their land and it got stolen from under them. But what I'm saying is that try to go back to Africa, try to go back to the motherland, try to, and we all have different backgrounds. My grandmother was Irish.
My grandfather was Irish.
Yeah. So we're all people of the world. So it's not black or white. It's all about knowing a little bit about where you come from everywhere. But one thing I say when I went to Africa and when I'm going back time and time again, and when I went with good friends, so share it with good friends as well. The Daniels are really close to me. And I grew up with Eric Daniels, and his wife Michelle is just a world traveler, as everybody probably knows if you know Michelle. But just, you feel like you belong in a way you can't explain, you know. And like when you come back to Rochester, and you see your people, when I come back, see Dana, see you, it's like, I belong here. Yeah. It feels like home and you've never even been there.
Yeah.
It's a feeling, you can't explain. Like when people go back to Italy or they go back to, France or, wherever. And I was going to all these different places, Rome and all, Paris.
Yeah.
I've been to all of them. I've been to every island, which is our people as well. But when you go back there and set foot on that land and that continent,
it's different.
It's just different. It hits different, as they say.
Yeah.
As the kids say, it hit different. It hits different, and it's really special. I would say definitely make that trip if you can.
Yeah.
There's not all pretty things to see there.
No,
because we were a big part of the slave trade. Our own people. Yeah. We was pimping ourselves out. Yeah.
Yeah.
We was dirty.
Well, that can be in any
and that's
in any race of people.
Because it was about the money.
Yeah.
It was about power and business.
Right.
So
well,
we're not, complicit and not guilty, but we aren't the ones who brought the ships over there either.
Yeah.
So I'll say that. But we saw it as a minor opportunity. We did some crooked and dirty things, still doing them today.
Well, they did the same thing to Jesus.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
Yeah. So it's been going on.
It's been going on. But at the end of the day, see the world and get out of Rochester.
Yeah.
Shit. Go to Henrietta.
Oh,
go
to,
go to
Henrietta.
No, listen. Go to Gates. Go to Greece. Go to New York City. I'm just saying.
Albany.
Albany,
please,
Syracuse. Just do
something.
Just do something different. Expose your children to something different.
Yeah.
Go to DC. Go to Atlanta. Go to Houston. They can see their people doing big things.
Yeah.
They can see their people living in big, beautiful houses.
Right.
Driving beautiful cars.
Yeah.
That are not drug dealers.
Right.
Now, even TV is showing all this corruption in these shows. Everybody doesn't have to be dirty to win.
No, they don't.
I'm an example of that.
Yes.
I've lived my entire life without selling one damn drug.
Yeah.
And I'm better for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But people do what they got to do. We get that.
Yeah.
Nobody's a saint. I'm damn sure not a saint.
Yeah.
I've done things I'm not proud of. However, I love people, and I've always known that people are the most important thing on this planet.
Right.
And you got to do people right.
You do.
So if you do people right, you do good business. You do straight up business with people. Even interaction, everyday interaction. Just do what you want people to do to you.
Right.
That's all. And you'll be fine.
Yeah, treat others the way
you want to be treated. The golden rule. That's it.
Yeah.
Follow that golden rule.
Yeah, and the caveat to that is, and if I can't treat you the way I want to be treated, then I'm going to have to leave you.
Yeah, I'm going to have to chill.
To your own, to your own destruction.
No doubt about it.
So, well, thank you so much, Varick. I appreciate you coming on the show at such short notice, and I know you got a busy schedule.
Listen, it's a pleasure to be here with the Brik Chick.
Yes, the Brik Chick
the Brik
is in
Chick
the building.
Is awesome.
That's
and
it.
She's amazing.
Thank you.
And this is one of the best interviews I've had.
Thank you. Me too.
For sure. Whatever. I'm the best.
I think I had Tracy. Might have been Tracy.
No, Tracy
your girl
worked
Tracy.
with me.
Oh Lord,
Tracy's amazing. Why do you think she's on my team?
That girl.
She's a powerhouse.
Woman, I have to say.
Tracy Isaacs helped start Essence Fest.
Yes.
I'm gonna leave that right there.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming.
No doubt.
All
Thank
right.
you.
And until next time, deuces.